What is good, everybody? It is your boy Champagne Chico, and we're back with another rebuild. This week, it is the New England Patriots. I do have some sort of self-conflict with the Patriots just because I'm a Dolphins fan. It's basically in our blood to just hate the Patriots. But today we are going to be rebuilding the Patriots just because they have some issues that they need to solve. Maybe even a QB situation is something that they need to focus on. Mac Jones seems to be good, but then has his moments that he's not. They have a pretty good defense. You have Kyle Duggar, who's pretty solid. Matthew Judon is just basically unstoppable when he really feels like playing. And the defense overall is usually good just because of the Bill Belichick system and just the Patriots defense system. It's the offense that they really have to worry about. And Ramondre Stevenson seems like a very bright running back for the future of the league. But it's just a bunch of things that they have to figure out. But before we get into this video, I'm going to need to ask you to go down there and like and subscribe for me. I see a lot of y'all that are watching the rebuilds are not subscribed. I'll greatly appreciate it if you join and just keep watching these rebuilds. I'm going to be bringing them out every Monday. You just let me know what you want to see, and I'll be rebuilding that team next. But this week is the Patriots because of request. And we have to bring in Champagne Chico as the new coach since Bill Belichick doesn't allow Madden to use his rights. And now with the brand new head coach in Champagne Chico right now, we have $102 million in cap. But there is a good amount of players that we do have to deal with. Jabril Peppers is a free agent this year. So is Jonathan Jones. Jacoby Myers, you would think that they would probably re-sign him just because they drafted him in the same draft class as a lot of other big prospects. But you never know. Damian Harris is also a question mark. It is a big question mark because you already have Ramondre Stevenson. What's the point of getting Damian Harris back? But we are in a re-signing period. Of course, it's always the same thing with the awards and everything. So I didn't see any point of going into that. But the mock draft for this draft right now, we have the 14th pick, and they have us taking a wide receiver once again, which is a viable option just because of the fact that this team does not have good wide receivers. It's either Jacoby Myers or some older players like Nelson Aguilar and players like that. And it's a concern because Devontae Parker is also here, traded for a 6th-round pick from the Miami Dolphins. Glad we got him off contract. Love him, but was not worth the money. He gets injured a little too often. He's not very reliable. I mean, he's not going to get injured in this necessarily. You have Nelson Aguilar running the wide receiver 3, who is a free agent this year. That's something to think about as well. Hunter Henry, a great tight end for y'all. You have a right tackle who is injured right now. If I'm not mistaken, this is the right tackle. Yeah, he is injured right now. He will be probably back by the next season. You have a solid O-line. You have a very solid O-line. You want to keep that. You do want to keep that right now. On the defensive side, though, you have Matthew Judon. You have to make sure that Matthew Judon stays no matter what. Jabril Peppers, it's better than the safeties in this draft class. To be honest with you, Antonio Johnson is like one of the only ones that really stands out. Jordan Battle is a bit up in the air in terms of how he's going to perform in the NFL. Kyle Duggar, a great strong safety. He is good at what he does. Jonathan Jones is a free agent, and you have to think about if you want to keep him or not. You either get a cornerback in the draft or keep Jonathan Jones and worry about cornerback in the next draft, and you get a wide receiver right now and try to add to something for Mac Jones to be able to perform. It's just all an if in terms of who they're able to re-sign. So I am going to go ahead and try to re-sign Jacoby Myers. As much as he has underperformed, I don't see why not. He doesn't really want to come back that much, but he's one of our best wide receivers right now. And until we find a better one, I don't see why we wouldn't try to re-sign him. I'll give him a player-friendly contract. Gives us $90 million. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. 4 years. He's going to be 30 by the time that contract's up, and then we won't have to worry about him after that. He's probably going to be regressing at that point if he doesn't already regress. Jabril Peppers is 27. Safety is a hard position to come by. I wouldn't be opposed to signing him again. I would give him a player-friendly one just because they don't really start regressing until that like early 30s area for the safeties. I will give him a player-friendly. Excited to sign such a great offer. Got to keep him. Jonathan Jones is the one that I'm questioning a lot. Wow. Jonathan Jones is one that I'm questioning a lot. The right tackle is somebody we want to keep for sure. Nick Folk probably is on his way out since he is 38. He has been solid, but I don't know. We'll have to see about him. Everybody else is kind of just, they can go. We can replace him if anything. We have 81 mil left. I think the only person left that I really want to sign is the right tackle because everybody else isn't really reliable. 30-year-old Nelson Aguilar, he's past his prime. Damian Harris has been solid, but you don't need him. Ramondre Stevenson clearly showed that he's a 3-down back. Jonathan Jones is 29. There's not much else to say about Jonathan Jones. Isaiah Wine, though, you do want to keep him as much as possible. 3 years. This offer's perfect. Can't wait until the new year. Gotta stick with what you can get. 73 mil left in the cap, so we do have space for free agency. I'm interested in Quentin Johnson for the draft in terms of the Patriots because as much as y'all keep hitting and missing on wide receivers, you might as well just keep trying because there's no other way to get a wide receiver to the Patriots right now unless you're trading for DeAndre Hopkins, which is a possibility. He is up on the trade block, but Quentin Johnson doesn't look that bad. He has A, catch in traffic, A, catching, B, deep route, A, spectacular catch, and everything else seems to be solid. It seems to be pretty solid. I wouldn't be opposed to getting him. I mean, if I can find a good cornerback at that spot, like if maybe Christian Gonzalez drops there, I wouldn't be opposed to getting him at all. But the cornerbacks are also kind of up in the air. Devin Witherspoon has been pretty solid as well. We don't need any linemen. We don't need a quarterback at the moment. Witherspoon looks good. His physicals aren't great in terms of his projections, but he has B almost everything at the moment. So I don't know. I think you risk it with the wide receiver. If anything, you don't need a tight end right now. You just shoot for what's best for you in the draft. So we will get into free agency, though, just to see what we're able to get right now and see how we can make this team better. So after the first day of free agency, I'm going after 4 players right now. Those 4 players are Josh Allen. Understand that I usually get him, but if he goes to the right outside linebacker position, that duo of Josh Allen and Matthew Judon would be lethal. TJ Edwards, I'm trying to get him for a discount right now. We would use a middle linebacker too, just because that's the scheme that we're running. James Bradberry, kind of keep the cornerback room afloat. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find a good cornerback in this draft, and if I don't, I have the safety blanket of James Bradberry. Juju, on a discount. For sure on a discount. He wanted to come to the Patriots. I don't mind it. I don't think that Devontae Parker is really going to perform that well because he is aging. Juju is really just a 2-year deal. It gets the wide receiver room kind of some depth in terms of what we can do with them. But we will go ahead and evaluate these offers right now to go ahead and see what we can get. It seems like we would have to re-offer to TJ Edwards, but we did get all 3 of the other players, Josh Allen, James Bradberry, and Juju. So don't mind that at all. 2 years for Juju is not bad. I can also just trade him next year, if anything. But TJ Edwards has now gotten a better offer from the Titans. I'm going to see if I can do something with that, but I'm also not going to overpay. He doesn't even really want to come to us, so if this doesn't work, then I think that's just going to be it. Yeah, I'm not going to fight the Titans about it. I think that's really going to be it for right now. I like the signings that we have at the moment. Juju, Josh Allen, James Bradberry. Adds to the defense. Our defense looks pretty good at the moment. Our offense, there's really not much we can do right now. So once he comes back from injury, he's going to move to right guard, and the line is going to be fine there. Cole Strange, a young left guard. It looks pretty good in my eyes. We have a solid 3 wide receivers. At least Kendrick Bourne is not the wide receiver 3. We still have some good middle linebackers. I'm not tripping about that too much. Josh Allen on the other side of Matthew Judon is going to be lethal. But other than that, it looks decent. The cornerbacks could use more help, which I'm going to be probably looking for in the draft. But I think I have my mind pretty set on the first pick. It's just what we end up doing for the rest of the draft. So I will go ahead and simulate there and see what players we can get to add to the team and hopefully build for a dynasty type team. All right, and as we start the NFL draft, the Chicago Bears do have the first pick. Wish that they could include some trades in like a realistic way for Madden, because they just never make trades with each other, but not going to affect me right now. They're going to take a defensive player. We're going to sim to our pick, and Devin Witherspoon gets picked right before us anyways, so I guess that wasn't really an option regardless. Will Levis is here, so is Anthony Richardson. I just don't see why they would be getting either of these quarterbacks. As much as Will Levis does look good right now in real life and in the game, I don't know. I mean, if he drops to the 14th pick, that could be a possibility. It's just, Will Levis is such a hit or miss in terms of what teams think. I don't see him falling out the top 5, to be honest. I see a lot of teams trying to trade up for those top 5 picks. I don't know if I go with the realistic route and just try to take him now and see how he does. Mac Jones just got started. So it's really just a matter of how much faith do they have in Mac Jones. Quentin Johnson would just be a solid pickup to help Mac Jones out. I mean, how many years is Mac Jones in? Because it depends. If he's 3 years in, then it might just be time to pack it up. He's only 2 years in. He's 24, star development. I think if we get the right weapons around him, he can do something. If not, then we get a quarterback in the next draft. But Quentin Johnson seems like a pretty good pick for us right now at the moment. I know that it just adds to the same wide receiver room that we already have, but I don't even see them really picking Will Levis. If anything, they seem pretty confident. They seem pretty confident in Mac Jones at the moment. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with Will Levis right now, as much as that's probably the most realistic way since it's a top 5 projection falling at 14. I think they're still trying to look for that wide receiver, and I think Quentin Johnson could do that for them. He looks good. 90 acceleration, 86 agility, 86 change of direction, 90 jumping, and 91 speed. He is very speedy. Could be a great addition to the team. I think him with Mac Jones can do something great, but we're gonna have to see what we can do with the rest of the team. He doesn't look amazing, but it's the best cornerback that's here right now in the second round, and I don't see any other possibility of anything. Cam Smith at the second round pick, the 14th pick of the second round. 6 foot man-to-man out of South Carolina. Physicals are okay. He performed pretty well at the Combine and Pro Day. He has solid stats. I mean, some of the things aren't fully shown, but he has B-man coverage. C-zone coverage isn't great, but it's the best cornerback that there is right now, and it's only going to get worse throughout the draft. It's worth a shot. All the other players that I'm looking at can fall to the 3rd round, so I'm hoping for that. But we will take Cam Smith. He is normal development, 91 speed, 86 jumping, 87 change of direction, 88 agility, and 90 acceleration. We just have to see how he develops with the cornerbacks that we have, but it really just depends on that. I am looking at Henry To'oTo'o here. He was the fastest middle linebacker in the Combine, which is great. He has some solid stats. He's a field general, 6'2", out of Alabama. Henry To'oTo'o. He looks good. He looks good. All the other positions that are here right now are cornerbacks and all that stuff. I don't think we need another cornerback right now. But yeah. Henry To'oTo'o, I think he's going to add to this middle linebacker core. I think one of the middle linebackers is aging a bit, and we need to find a replacement pretty soon. Henry To'oTo'o, he's solid. Hopefully he pans out. He has some decent stats. Won't read him out because he's normal development, but this left outside linebacker, though, Dorian Williams, I mean, he could help the team a lot right now in terms of possibly if Matthew Judon just doesn't want to come back. He could develop there. He could be a solid backup. Dorian Williams could add to the squad. It's just too good of a prospect right now to just let drop at the moment. So I think I am going to go with Dorian Williams. Hidden development in the 4th round is absolutely insane. Some good stats, 88 speed, 90 acceleration. I don't mind it at all. I'm hoping that he keeps developing that way. Now, this might be a little hypocritical of me, but it is the 4th round. There's not a lot of positions left that are really doing anything for me. A backup halfback wouldn't be bad, and it's a late pick. It's a very late pick. He's supposed to go day 3, but he has elite jumping. He's an elusive back. He has B trucking, B break tackle. His juke move isn't the greatest, but there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential. I'm going to get him Roschon Johnson. I mean, if he doesn't pan out, then he doesn't pan out. But it's worth a shot right now. There wasn't any left guards that I was able to get. Quarterback, we're dealing with Mac Jones for another year just to see if he's able to develop with the new team. Defensive tackle, I think they're solid for right now. I'll worry about that in the next first-round pick if we get a higher one. And left end, I didn't really see the necessity of it. Roschon Johnson, 90 speed, 86 change of direction, 86 agility, and 90 acceleration is not bad at all. Hopefully he pans out, but I think that's going to do it for this draft, and we're just going to have to see how this team performs in the new season. All right, and at the start of the season, Quentin Johnson is not starting necessarily. That's an interesting choice. I like how our team looks right now. Jonnu Smith is going to be playing fullback, it seems. I don't mind it. Johnson was only a 72 overall, so... Wow, Ramondre Stevenson is going to be taking the workload right now. Our defense looks pretty good as well. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Cam Smith was not a fantastic pick. So definitely have to focus on that in the next draft as well. Defensive tackle is another one that we might need to focus on. And if not, quarterback might be it too. But I'm going to see if I can get Quentin Johnson to get more playing time than others. Might have to trade Devontae Parker. I don't know how much his cap is hitting us right now. So depending on that, that might have to be the way to go. Yeah, and it's his last year on the contract. There's no point of having him on the team. All right. Okay, well, completely off track of what I just said, which was trading Devontae Parker and Kendrick Bourne, which I will get to. But there has been a lot of circulating rumors of DeAndre Hopkins joining Bill Belichick. Now, Bill Belichick isn't here, but Champagne Chico is, which is almost a better coach. But all jokes aside, DeAndre Hopkins is an older wide receiver. We're giving up a couple third-round picks and a second-round pick next year. I'm planning to trade Kendrick Bourne and Devontae Parker for either second-round picks or third-round picks. So I'm going to be getting that value back anyways. I'm just getting DeAndre Hopkins in the process and hopefully helping Mac Jones develop so we don't have to draft a QB and deal with that whole process again. So we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and try to draft or trade Kendrick Bourne and Devontae Parker also because their contracts are up this year. So, all right. Well, we're trading Devontae Parker in a 6th and a 7th this year. We do have another 6th-round pick, so it's nothing crazy. For a 2nd-round pick next year and a 3rd-round pick this year, basically getting our draft picks back right now. Hopefully we can get a little more with Kendrick Bourne, but we'll have to see. All right. Well, we traded Kendrick Bourne for a 3rd-round pick this year. There wasn't a lot of teams willing to offer a second without me having to add more picks, and I'm really not trying to give that much more. So just trying to get a contract off. He's supposed to be getting paid $9 million this year. I would rather just get that contract off early, let the other players develop, and have the rest of the team do what they do. But we get a 3rd-round pick out of it. We could get something in the 3rd round. But now we can take a look at the roster before we start simulating just to be able to see who all is in the position to develop at this point. DeAndre Hopkins is a star, so could be better, but it's really just to see if it helps Mac Jones right now. If it doesn't, then DeAndre Hopkins leaves, and that's that simple. Jacoby Myers is the wide receiver 3, and Quentin Johnson is wide receiver 4 at the moment. He won't be that for much longer. Mac Jones needs to develop this year, or he just might get packed up for a 1st-round pick. Defense looks solid. I like how everything looks right now. We will go ahead and sim to the midseason mark and see how this team does. Hopefully they do good, and if not, then we have some things to look into for the next draft. We are a 500 team. We're 3-3 right now. We have to see what the stats look like to see what is the issue or the benefit right now. 25th in offensive yards. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll definitely do it right there. And 1st in defensive yards. It's the offense. 100%. 1,600 yards, 14 TDs, and 5 interceptions. It doesn't look bad, but something has to be off. 354 yards and 2 touchdowns for Ramondre Stevenson. The rookie's getting his reps as well. Juju is the leading receiver, 400 yards, 2 TDs, Hunter Henry is right behind him with 4 TDs. DeAndre Hopkins has 343 and 3 TDs. And it doesn't look like Quentin Johnston isn't getting any snaps right now. Very interesting to me. Defense, though. Leading tackler is our middle linebacker, as usual. TFLs, Josh Allen has 7 and Matthew Judon has 6. That has to be scary to be playing against them. Sacks, Josh Allen has 7. Wise Jr. has 4.5, and Matthew Judon has 4. And interceptions, Jalen Mills has 1, and Bradbury has 1. We're first in defensive yards, so our defense is performing. It's our offense right now. So, depending on what happens for the rest of the season with Mac Jones, it's definitely going to have to come down to that. And also, what players are in the draft. If there's not any good QBs, then there's no point in getting one in the draft. But everybody basically looks the same right now. Don't know why Johnston isn't getting any snaps. He's quite literally had none. The rest of the team looks good, though. Bradbury is injured because I forgot to turn off injuries. That is great. That is great. That's not going to help us. That's not going to help us right now. But we'll look into the mock draft before we sim to the end of the season. We might be up here, but there's no quarterbacks that are really standing out, it seems. I mean, John Alford seems to be pretty good. He's a field general. Doesn't look too good under pressure. It's not a very QB-heavy draft class. Not at all. It seems like a lot of linemen and defensive players right now. Possibly a tight end in this draft. Yeah, it just depends. It just depends right now. We have to see what develops out of that, but we will sim to the end of the season and see what happens right after we check on who is supposed to be negotiating. Kyle Duggar is up for a contract, and so is Trent Brown and Jawan Bentley and Mike Onwenu. See, this is a draft that we might need to get a tight end. This is a draft we might need to get a tight end because I'm not sure if I can sign all these guys to a deal. I can probably do most of these guys. Probably not Hunter Henry. Too much signing bonus. That's a little too much. We want to keep our line. That 25-year-old seems like he's going to be good for the foreseeable future. Trent Brown also might be good for the foreseeable future. James Bradbury isn't a concern. Kyle Duggar, though, is the first order of business right now. I'm going to worry about him more than anything. 5 years. It's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. If we would have done neutral, he probably would have rejected it. So, Trent Brown. I'm going to worry about signing Mike Onwenu first and see if he accepts. If he doesn't, then we'll have to worry a little more. Need to do more to convince me this team is right for my future. That's great. That is fantastic. Josh Uche, 24 years old. I don't know. Middle linebackers aren't easy to come by. Neither are left tackles. Might just try to get the middle linebacker right now. Round it out at 25. Not negotiating on the years. Up it or move on. Okay. Well, we'll worry about those contracts in the offseason. If they don't end up signing with us, then we'll sign them in free agency. But we will sim to the end of the season and see if we make the playoffs. All right, well, we just missed the playoffs. We went 9-8, almost basically 500. Got to see what's wrong with the team right now. It's probably the offense. 24th in offensive yards is not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it on this team. 9th in defensive is not bad. 4,300 yards, 29 TDs, and 16 interceptions by Mac Jones. It's not good. Ramondre Stevenson did hit the 1,000-yard mark, 12 TDs. Rashawn Johnson had 11 TDs. Wow. Okay. Receiving, DeAndre Hopkins did have the most, 1,000 yards, 4 TDs. Hunter Henry had 982 with 7 TDs. Juju had 880 with 4 TDs. And Jacoby Myers had 867 with 6 TDs. Quentin Johnston did get some snaps. He did get a TD. I don't understand why we're not using him that much. I mean, Juju's probably on his way out this season. Jawan Bentley, the man who has a contract up for negotiation right now, is the leading tackler. TFLs, Matthew Judon with 20, Josh Allen with 15, Barmore with 15, Wise Jr. with 11. It's a TFL house in here. 16 and a half sacks for Josh Allen, 13 and a half sacks for Matthew Judon. That's a killer duo. interceptions, 3 for our middle linebacker Tavei, 2 interceptions for Josh Allen, 2 interceptions for Bradbury Jr., and 1 for Jawan Bentley and Kyle Duggar. We almost made the playoffs. We didn't quite make it. The Bills did win the division, and we didn't get the wild card spot. We were 9-8, so we're kind of in the middle of the draft now as well. So that's another thing to be concerned about. Just gonna have to see what we can do in free agency and the draft. And the 2023 season recap: the Bucs go to the Super Bowl without Tom Brady. Do they still have him? But the Ravens go to the Super Bowl as well, beating the Bucs 21-17, and Lamar Jackson wins Super Bowl MVP. Boy, would y'all love that. Will Levis took the Bucs to the Super Bowl. So the man that we could have gotten at the 14th pick ended up taking them to the Super Bowl. Myles Murphy on the Texans wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Josh Allen won Defensive Player of the Year. Very good. Very good for us. I'm sure that he's going to develop a lot more just because of him winning that. Right now, we do have to worry about re-signing a lot of players, though. We did get Kyle Duggar back, which I think is one of the more important ones. But we do have some linemen that want to leave, and I'm just hoping that they don't. We have 77 mil. I'm not sure if any players on our team ended up retiring because that seems a little more than before. With the Patriots, nobody retired. So we're good on that. It's just a lot of cap space that freed up. We have 7 players to negotiate with, and I think only 3 of them I'm really concerned about. James Bradbury can go into free agency. I'm not concerned about him at all. Jawan Bentley is somebody that I want to bring back. So is Trent Brown and Mike Onwenu. Hunter Henry is now a superstar at the age of 29. I might try to sign him again. 77 mil. That's so difficult because we don't have a lot of space, and the more that we sign these players, it's going to be difficult to be able to do anything with. But we'll have to see what Jawan Bentley wants to do right now. He didn't want to come to the team before. Now he does. So I'm still going to give him this contract, and he's still going to sign to it. So 66 mil left. I'm going to try to get Trent Brown back for another couple of years. He wants to stay with the team. I'm giving him a neutral offer. Happy to sign. 2 years. Not bad. He's going to be 32 when the contract's up. 51 mil left. I might let Josh Uche ride just because of the fact that I forgot that we already have Josh Allen at right outside linebacker. So there's no point of Josh Uche being here, really. As much as he's a great right outside linebacker, we have Josh Allen. So Mike Onwenu, a great young right guard. I'm trying to give him what he wants. Right now. It's a very player-friendly deal. I don't see why he doesn't take it. That's a good offer. 38 mil right now, though. Hunter Henry, 29. He wants to stay with the team. I'm going to give him a little more. Yeah, I'm going to give Hunter Henry a player-friendly deal. I enjoyed playing for you, but I think I'm going to test out free agency. So we have 38 mil going into free agency. How much is it? 15.1 for a franchise tag. I mean, that's basically what we were doing already. I think Joey Bosa is in this, or Nick Bosa is in this free agency, and I don't think he's going to want to come here. I'll try to re-sign him in free agency. I'll try to see if Hunter Henry is able to be re-signed there. If not, then it's going to be difficult without a tight end. I think this is really going to be all that I do in this one, really. Antoine Winfield, free safety. Jabril Peppers is getting older. Antoine Winfield is 26 years old at a 89 overall, who can just keep getting better. Hunter Henry, we're trying to bring him back. Having a good tight end helps a lot. And Tyler Bass, a kicker. It's a kicker, but I would try to go after Nick Bosa and Justin Herbert and Jeffrey Simmons and T. Higgins and all those type of players. First of all, Jeffrey Simmons is not interested in coming to us. T. Higgins, we already have a lot of wide receivers. I don't think that's the issue. Nick Bosa isn't all too realistic as much as I would love to get him again. He's going to take all of our cap, and I would rather have 3 players that will play good at their positions than have one that's going to perform amazingly, but then we have other spots that we're trying to fix with rookies and stuff like that. So I will go ahead and see what these players end up deciding to do, I would imagine that they all agree to their contracts except for Tyler Bass. Antoine Winfield does come to the team, and so does Hunter Henry, so we're solid on that, assuming that Tyler Bass is going to come to our team, and he does. So we do have 11 mil left for next year. Some cushion space for this next year. Right outside linebacker isn't actually a team need just because Josh Allen is already at that position. So defensive tackle is one, though, that I have to look at for the drafts. But I will see you in the draft. I'm going to adjust where Josh Allen is supposed to be. And then, yeah, we'll see what we can get in the draft. All right. And we are now in the draft, and the Dolphins have the first pick. They went 3-14, which is insane in terms of what they could do. But we're at the 16th pick. David Beckham does go right before us at the wide receiver position. And I'm looking for a cornerback right now by the name of Bryce Clinton. He looks good. He looks good. He looks like a first-round pick type of player right now. He performed well at the combine in terms of vertical jump, broad jump, 20-yard shuttle. Not the fastest in the world, but he has some solid stats. I might look at other cornerbacks right now just because, oh, this right outside linebacker fell out of the top 5. So I might take that top 5 projected player. He doesn't look bad. He's a right outside linebacker, which, to be honest with you, Matthew Judon is on the decline right now. He's a power rusher. He performed okay at the combine. His hit power is a B. His stamina is a B. His tackle is a C. C man coverage. But there's A to C. Catching, power moves, pursuit, play recognition. All those type of things are all still debatable right now. His physicals really aren't anything to go crazy about, but he's a power rusher, so he's not going to be fast. I think I am going to take Pat Cohen because I have a cornerback in mind for the second round. I'm going to take him. It's not good. He's not good. I wanted to risk it just because Matthew Judon is regressing. And it's safe to have that option right now. So, not the greatest pick for me in the world. I kind of relied on the whole projection thing. But hopefully there is still cornerbacks that I'm looking at this position right now. And there is. Brandon Franklin is the man that I was looking at. He has some good physicals. Not the fastest. 4.47 is good, but it's not the fastest in the draft class right now. A catching, A press. It's almost like a Keely Ringo. B man coverage, A to C zone coverage. I like the potential of it. Hidden development. I probably was going to take him in the first round, but I was willing to risk one pick for the other at that point. 91 speed, 89 jumping, 91 change of direction, 88 agility, and 92 acceleration. Not bad at all. Hopefully he does pan out. A second round pick. We have a third round pick now that we might look for something different. And by something different, I mean a tight end 2 at the moment. Vertical threat out of South Carolina, Bradley Michaels. He looks good. He looks pretty good. He performed well at the combine and pro day. B deep route, B run block. He seems like he can be solid. He seems like he can be potentially good. So I'm going to go ahead and take him. He's not hidden development. He's normal development. But I think he can develop behind Hunter Henry. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. I'm going to try to draft this defensive tackle in hopes that he's actually pretty good. He is a power rusher, so his block shedding isn't crazy. His finesse moves is C. We don't know what power moves he has. He has F play recognition. His combine and pro day wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It is a third round, so I'm not expecting him to be top of the line. But we need defensive tackles regardless. I think he can possibly develop hidden development. Nice. All right, well, 86 strength is really the only one that's in the green, but he's hidden development. So if he gets enough reps, I'm sure that he'll be able to develop. But, wow, I'm pleasantly surprised. And in the new season, Quentin Johnson is a star development player. Might get more reps this year. Just depends on what happens with Juju and all that good stuff. Jacoby Myers. Our offense basically looks the same. It's really the defense. Brandon Franklin looks like he's going to be pretty good for our team right now. Cohen isn't that bad. He's a 74 overall. He could develop behind Matthew Judon. Josh Allen took over the left outside linebacker role. We do have to get a defensive tackle at some point, so that is going to be a concern moving forward. We could move Jabril Peppers, possibly Juju or Jacoby Myers, just because Jacoby hasn't developed at all, and we signed him to an extended contract. I don't know. I'm going to have to see, but I think I am going to try to move on from Jabril Peppers just because we were able to get Antoine Winfield. Don't just want empty cap space on the team. I'll go ahead and see, but if not, I'll see you at the midseason mark. All right. Well, we offload Jabril Peppers, we offload Juju Smith, and we offload a second-round pick next year, which I'm assuming that we're going to be doing good by this time next year. For a first-round pick from the Falcons of this year, I think the Falcons aren't going to be that good, to be honest with you. There wasn't a lot of quarterbacks in this draft, and they didn't draft one in the last one. Juju is already on his way out. They didn't want Jacoby Myers. I would have traded Jacoby Myers if I had the chance. I think I'm just going to deal with him at the moment. Jabril Peppers is just sitting there at the backup position. There's no point. Second round pick was the only way to be able to finish off the trade. So now we have some more cap room for this upcoming free agency. We have another first round pick for this draft. And now we can finally sim. I think Johnston finally has a wide receiver 2 role, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't yet, but he should be getting it during the season. I do want to get rid of Joano Smith, though. He's taking 11 mil on the cap hit. Unless his contract's up this year. Okay, I'll just deal with that then for this year. 18.4 mil is insane, but he wants to stay. Of course he does, because he's getting paid 18 mil. But he's not going to be staying much longer as much as he goes to FIU. Can't keep him for much longer. Cornerback room needs some help. That's probably going to be a thing that we'll focus on in this upcoming season. But I think our team looks good overall. I think we can make a push for the playoffs and possibly the Super Bowl if we have enough luck. All right, whoa. We have started off 5-2. Very interesting. I felt like we were going to do good, but this good, I'm pleasantly surprised about. The offense is 9th in offensive yards. That is pretty good. I hope our defense is on the same level. 7th in defensive yards. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Mac Jones is almost at 2,000 yards in 7 weeks with 11 TDs and 5 interceptions. Ramondre Stevenson is having a season with 405 TDs so far. Rashawn Johnson is still our backup halfback right now, having 5 TDs, evening out with Stevenson. Receiving, DeAndre Hopkins has 576 and 5 TDs. Jacoby Myers has 402 TDs. Quentin Johnson has 374 with no TDs, and Hunter Henry has 3 TDs and 337 yards. Not a bad receiving core right there. Of course, Jawan Bentley, the middle linebacker, is going to have the most tackles on the team. 7 TFLs for Matthew Judon. He is aging and he is regressing, but he's still going to get his stats. Barmore has 6 TFLs. Josh Allen has 4. A little less than most of the players on the team. Josh Allen has 8.5 sacks, though. Matthew Judon has 5, and Wise Jr. has 4. So the team looks good so far. The team does look good so far. 5-2. I'm sure we're at the top of the conference right now. Actually, we're not. Top of the division is what I meant to say. The Bills are 6-1 at the moment, so I guess we'll have to go with the wild card spot if anything. But our team looks good. Our team does look good. Quentin Johnson is developing. So is Jacoby Myers just a bit. Our line still the same. Cole Strange needs to develop. Defense still looks good. They moved Brandon Franklin to the CB2 position. That's an interesting pick there. Antoine Winfield seems to be doing some good things at the free safety position. I think our backfield is definitely what is helping us right now, and then our linebackers are just lethal. So we do have 2 young ones that are right behind these guys that I'm sure can take over if we get that deep in. But I have a good feeling that we'll make a push either this season or next season. So, yeah, I think that we can sim to the mid-season mark if there's nobody that is needing a signing this offseason. DeAndre Hopkins is up for the contract. He's 32, though. He's still been kind of solid. Matthew Judon as well. Ramondre Stevenson has been developing just a bit. Wise Jr. All old players. Mac Jones is also up for a contract, and he's looking for a big one. Oof. I don't think I'm going to worry about these guys until this upcoming season, to be honest with you. I'm going to see if I can get anything for Jonnu Smith. If not, then I think I'm just going to sim. All those players are old. I don't necessarily see the reason to give them the money that they want. I don't know. I'm not too convinced at the moment, but I am going to try to pack up Jonnu Smith and see if I can get some value out of him, because 12 mil and just leaving this offseason with no value is a wild thing to me. Basically just finesse a second-round pick from the Raiders. We're trading Jonnu Smith for a second-round pick from the Raiders. I mean, Jonnu Smith can be good, but he's 12 mil and he's only going to get more expensive. I'm not going to deal with that. Hunter Henry is doing the job just fine. Breakout linebacker, I'm not sure who this is, to be honest with you. Josh Allen is possibly going to be getting Superstar X Factor. That'll be huge for the team. That'll definitely be huge for the team. 3+ interceptions, or fumbles forced, TFLs, or sacks. Or they hold the Vikings to less than 150 total yards. We'll have to see at the end of the season about that. I won't look at the mock draft just yet. I'll wait to the playoffs to see if we end up making it or not. All right. Well, we end the season 10-7, and we are facing the Tennessee Titans in the first round. We can go ahead and look and see if our team stayed consistent, really. 5th in offensive yards is not bad at all. Top 5 in the league. Defensive yards just says defensive yards. Okay. That's Madden. Almost 5,000 yards for Mac Jones, 34 TDs, and 15 interceptions. The TDs is not bad at all. Ramondre Stevenson had 1,100. Whoa. Ramondre Stevenson had 1,100 yards and 11 TDs, and Roschon Johnson had 397 and 9 TDs. If I can speak. Receiving, DeAndre Hopkins had 1,211 TDs. Ooh, that's going to be difficult to have him leave. Quentin Johnston had 1,100 yards and 4 TDs, so he did perform this year. Jacoby Myers also had 1,000 with 3 TDs. It looks like Mac Jones was spreading the ball out. 939 and 10 TDs for Hunter Henry. Defense, Bentley, of course, has the most tackles. Matthew Judon has 16 TFLs. Josh Allen had 14. Wise Jr. had 12. Barmore had 12. This is insane. Josh Allen had 15.5 sacks. Wise Jr. had 8.5. Barmore had 6. And Judon had 5.5. Wow. I'm still trying to see what rank we were in defensive yards. I'm assuming we were the best. I'm assuming we were the best at this point, with it just saying defensive yards. There's no other way. But I want to go ahead and see if Josh Allen got his Superstar X Factor that game that we are looking at. Team looks overall good on the offensive side. He did not get it that game, but I'm sure he'll be getting it soon regardless. Team looks good. Team looks good. We have to jump into this game against the Tennessee Titans, and I think we're playing in Tennessee too, so it's going to be a difficult game to walk into. And now the New England Patriots do start off with the ball and end up not doing a single thing on the first drive of the game. But the Tennessee Titans seem to slowly be going down the field as they get into the red zone and get their first touchdown of the day. And the Patriots are looking to answer back, but get a 10-yard penalty by our center, David Andrews, and end up not doing anything on third down. Have to punt it away. They obviously are going to be running the ball, and they missed the field goal. That gives us a prime position at the 50-yard line to do something with it. We do get our first down of the day as we get a big reception by DeAndre Hopkins, and we are going to get our first touchdown of the day to tie it up as Tyler Bass makes the kick. And we have to stop him in some way to be able to get into this game as we stop him on fourth down. And they end up making the field goal to make it a 3-point game. But we are starting to get hot. We're starting to get hot. We're getting some big receptions downfield and get our second touchdown of the day to make it a 4-point game. And the Tennessee Titans are going downfield pretty easily. They're at the 1 with 11 seconds left and end up throwing the ball away, and they're just going to take the field goal with 6 seconds left on the clock to make it a 1-point game. And they do get the ball at the half, so they will be starting off with it as they start off hot. And they're going downfield, getting to the end zone, and making it a 7-point game as they do get the 2-point conversion. And the Patriots have to answer back in some way as they are planning to. 3rd and 13, 4th and 13, and they have to punt it away, and it is a touchback. The Titans have it once again. They could get a touchdown to really open up the game right now, as they do stop them enough for them to only get the field goal. A 10-point game right now. The Patriots need to answer back in some way, shape, or form in the fourth quarter now. We need some big plays. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, 4th and inches. They might just go with the field goal, and they do. They make it a touchdown game, and all they have to do is stop them on defense, but the Titans just aren't getting stopped right now. They're not getting stopped right now, as we also are not looking to get stopped either, as DeAndre Hopkins gets a 40-yard touchdown from Mac Jones. Possibly might be on his way out this offseason just because of contract issues. 3rd and 7, 4th and 8, a big stop. 37 seconds left on the clock with no time left. I'm going to let the CPU try to do what they do. I'm going to try to see what they can do with it. They're getting some big plays right now. They run the ball with Mac Jones. 4 seconds left on the clock and throw it away. 3rd and 7. 2 seconds left. The pass is knocked away. 4th and 7. They have to do a Hail Mary, and it does not pan out. And they turn the ball over, and we lose in the wild card round. Our team is good. Our team is good, but we just have to be able to perform. And I think we still need some certain spots to be able to do that in terms of the defensive line right now. Yeah. Mac Jones might be the QB of the future, though. And after a disappointing loss in the wild card round, the Ravens go on to win another Super Bowl, but now against the Eagles, and Lamar Jackson gets another Super Bowl MVP and NFL MVP. None of our players end up winning any of the awards. Disappointing, but wow, Lamar Jackson won 3 awards. He won OPOI, NFL MVP, and Super Bowl MVP. That's an insane season. He's probably not even going back to the Ravens this year, so it all just depends. And the players that are ready to negotiate for this offseason, as we have 117 mil in cap, DeAndre Hopkins is already regressing. He can go to another team. As much as he's been great for us, we need to move on from him. Matthew Judon only wants a 1-year deal, but he is down to a 79 overall. Ramondre Stevenson wants a 3-year deal. Wise Jr. wants a 1-year deal. David Andrews also wants a 1-year deal. Mac Jones did perform well. He's a superstar now, so he could develop a lot more. I think he's really going to be the only one that I try to go after that hard. I think I can get these other players at a discount. Might get David Andrews right now, but the right end position is not something that I'm too crazy about paying right now and overpaying possibly, at least for somebody that's 31 and 81 overall. Ramondre Stevenson, I want to see what's in free agency and see if I can get him also at a discount. But Mac Jones is a superstar now, and I want him to stay. I do want Mac Jones to stay. This is the exact expected value of his, but I think I am going to add a little bit more. He seems to be the future for us, and the offer is perfect for him, and he's going to go ahead and stay. With 81 mil left in our cap, I think we can go into free agency with this and see what we can do. Barmore and Wise Jr. are definitely going to be on my radar regardless. I just want to see if I can get him for a little less. 81 mil. I'm going to try to get Tavay now. This is exactly the offer that I want. So we keep our middle linebackers at the moment. Nothing bad has happened so far. Center, I think I'm going to wait on it. I want to see what I can get in free agency right now. I'll keep them all in mind. If there's any halfbacks right now, then I'll probably go after them. We'll just have to see. So the 5 players that I'm going after right now, as you can see, one of them is Joe Mixon. As much as I want to keep Ramondre Stevenson, I don't think that they're going to be willing to maybe pay him. It just depends on these upcoming seasons on how he does. In here, he's done well, but he hasn't done crazy for him to get a development trait and stuff like that. He's still normal development. We're fighting the Steelers for Joe Mixon right now. We're also fighting the Jaguars for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Our wide receiver room is not crazy without DeAndre Hopkins now, and I think a wide receiver 1 or a clear wide receiver 1 will really do the job. A left end in DeMarcus Lawrence for a year could help us a lot. He's an 84 overall, 33, so he's really only going to be here for 1 year. I had to get David Andrews back. Hopefully he does end up signing with us regardless. And BJ Hill is a defensive tackle that I'm going after for a 1-year deal. I will try to get Wise Jr. when this is all set and done for this one. There's no teams interested in him right now. So hopefully I am able to get him as all of them decide, and only 3 of them decide to come to us. Amon St. Brown is not going to end up coming to us. He ends up going to the Jaguars. So we have to figure out what we're going to do about that. I tried to get Najee to get a little younger of an option, but that wasn't panning out for us. Oh, our center decided to go somewhere else. He decided to go to the Raiders. Oh, no. All right. And I think these are going to be the signings that we have left. It seems like the Chargers are trying to compete with us to get Wise Jr. So these are the signings. I still need a wide receiver 3 regardless. So Hunter Renfrow could be coming to the team. Teron Johnson, our cornerback room isn't the best without someone like that right now. Cam Smith, I'm not really too fond of playing the CB3 position. And Andrew Norwell, honestly, I'm going to be moving him to the center position because there's no other good centers. I'm not going to have a 74 overall at center. And I don't plan on getting a center in a draft, to be honest with you. Elijah Moore was somebody that I was trying to get, but I'm not paying him an excessive amount. Fullback might be a position, but then I'll just be run dry at that point. I think I'll be fine without a fullback. We're going to see if these players end up signing with us. And Johnson still hasn't decided, while Hunter Renfrow, we're still the top of his board. And we end up getting Wise Jr. back and Norwell. Go ahead and see if they both decide. And they both do. Teron Johnson wanted to come here, but Hunter Renfrow did not. I don't understand it, because we're paying them the most money and they still don't want to come to the team. So I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles at that point. We kind of just have to hope and see that we get something in the draft, but it's not much we can do right now. All right, we're packing up a late first and a mid second and a 3rd round pick next year for a top 1st round pick this year. We have the 20th pick, which is the Falcons' 1st round pick. But I have my eyes on somebody that is going in the top 10 in all the mock drafts right now. So I am planning to be getting him and then worry about our pick when we get there. So I'm basically just hoping that this guy drops to this pick. He's supposed to drop to this pick, but he seems to be a little better than the linebacker that we have right now. And his name is Gordon Peoples. Doug Woodyard. My fault. Gordon Peoples wasn't bad, but he wasn't really that good either. His physicals weren't. Oh, well. Actually, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's a speed rusher as well, but I think I liked Woodyard just a little bit more. I think I liked him just a little bit more. He did have elite acceleration. He has just better overall physicals, a finesse moves, and he's a speed rusher too, so that would help him a lot. Block shedding is a C. Head power is a C. I'm not expecting him to be hitting out the gym or hitting out the field. B tackle. I think I'm going to take Doug Woodyard. I have a strong feeling about him. Normal development. Oh, boy. And I think with this pick, this tight end looks too good to pass up. JD Dukes has a pass block, a deep route, a medium route. His impact blocking isn't great, but everything else looks like it's going to be really good. He's a vertical threat at 6'6" with elite acceleration and elite change of direction. Measured well at the Combine and Pro Day. A tight end, JD Dukes. We do have Hunter Henry right now, but he can be very good behind him, and he does have hidden development. Hunter Henry might be on his way out just so we can beefing up other positions on the team, and JD Dukes will take over. Who knows? And I think with the last relevant pick in the draft, I'm going to be taking a center. It's a position of need as much as I probably should be getting a right end right now. There's not a lot. There's not a lot going on in terms of right ends in this draft. They just don't look good. And I don't think it's worth the position that I'm at right now when I can get this player that I'm looking at who is projected to go where I'm taking him. He looks solid. He measured well against his companions, A pass block power. He's very powerful. A run block power. I think I'm going to take him. We do need a center. He does have hidden development. So there goes another situation that we could be packing up somebody. I know I just signed that left guard to play center, but he could be on his way out too, or possibly Hunter Henry. All right, and at the start of the season, our team looks good. Our team looks very good right now. I mean, wide receivers could definitely use some help, but Jacoby Myers is getting that role that he's been wanting for a while, and Quentin Johnston's wide receiver too. But Mac Jones is a superstar this year, and so is Joe Mixon and Hunter Henry. JD Dukes looks pretty good. He looks pretty good, and depending on how we do this season, and depending on how good Hunter Henry does, that might just be the deciding factor, or just what JD Dukes gets as a development trait. But our center is a 75 overall, so that helps a good deal. Cole Strange hasn't developed that much, so I think we're going to keep that left guard that we did sign. Woodyard is starting at right outside linebacker as I wanted him to. And our defense looks pretty good. A lot of Brown, but in terms of normal development. But it's nothing bad right now. They're all pretty high overall normal development players. So I'm not completely against it right now. Yeah, I like what I see. I do like what I see. I just hope that the wide receivers end up panning out. Thornton is a speedy threat, so hopefully he does pan out as well, but we're going to have to see at the midseason mark. All right, well, we are 5-2 once again at the midseason mark, now officially at the top of the AFC East. Wow, the Bills are 1-5, which is very surprising. But the stats on the season right now, I am sure our offense is doing great. 12th in offensive yards. Maybe the defense is carrying us. 20th in defensive yards. Wow. Okay, Mac Jones, 1,700 yards, 16 TDs, and 3 interceptions. That'll do it. That'll be the main contributor to helping us out right now. 664 yards and 5 TDs for Joe Mixon, and Rashawn Johnson is still doing his thing back here. Receiving threats, though, 416 yards and 4 TDs. Hunter Henry is still in the top 3 receiving, so I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of him because we're 5-2 right now. It would be kind of stupid to do that at the moment. But on the defensive side, though, Josh Allen is a lead tackler, with Dexter Lawrence having the most TFLs with 6, Josh Allen with 5, Wise Jr. with 5, BJ Hill with 5, and sacks. Wow, sacks. Josh Allen has 8, DeMarcus Lawrence has 7.5, and Woodyard has 3.5 as a rookie, which is not bad at all. We can go ahead and see what is going on with our team in terms of overall. 5-2 isn't bad. It seems like our stats don't really match it right now, but probably have just had really good matchups for us right now. Mac Jones is still a superstar. Everybody is still basically the same at the moment. McLean, I like that name, is a star development player. Our defense still looks solid. I don't expect them to fall off at any point. The cornerbacks look solid as well. Brandon Franklin is still a star development. So, yeah, there's really not much to do at the moment. I don't think maybe players are ready to negotiate right now that we are looking into. These are all one-year deal players. Trent Brown is 32 and he's regressing right now. We could look for a different left tackle. Wise Jr. wants a 2-year deal. I'm not sure about that. Andrew Norwell, we did sign him for 1 year, but Cole Strange is really the one that I want to keep. So is Isaiah Wynn. So I think those two are really the ones that I'm going to be focused on at the moment. His interest level's high for us, so I'm excited to sign such a great offer. Okay, perfect. So we get him for another 2 years. Isaiah Wynn is the right tackle that I'm looking to keep as well. Hopefully he accepts this. Cool. All right, Wynn also comes back. Trent Brown, I'm not sure about. I think he's been regressing lately. He's up to an 86 just because of the way that the team's playing. But he's an 83 normally. I mean, he hasn't regressed, but he has space to do so, which is something that I'm not excited about. But with that being said, I think we are going to sim to the end of the season. I'm not planning to make any trades right now. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm more concerned about making the playoffs and making a push in the playoffs for the Super Bowl. We'll worry about the offseason if the offseason comes. But yeah, hopefully we can make the playoffs and maybe even get a first-round bye. Wow. So we go 14-3, and it seems like we were the top of the AFC. Very impressive. Very impressive from the New England Patriots right now. 5th in offensive yards. Mac Jones is definitely performing this year. And 3rd in defensive yards. We definitely picked up this season. 4,600 yards, 36 TDs, and 9 interceptions. That's a great outcome from Mac Jones. Rushing, Joe Mixon, 1,500 yards, 15 TDs. Roschon Johnson almost had 509 TDs. Receiving, Quentin Johnson took over 1,100 yards, almost 1,200 with 8 TDs. Jacoby Myers had 1,009. Hunter Henry had 972 and 5 TDs. I mean, you just can't get much better than that right now. Defense, though, Bentley once again being the leading tackler, but Josh Allen had 12 TFLs. Dexter Lawrence had 12. BJ Hill had 12. Wise Jr. had 11. Josh Allen had 19 sacks on the season. That's insane. Dexter Lawrence had 18 sacks. It's not even worth mentioning anybody else at that point. Teron Johnson had 3 interceptions, and Kyle Duggar had 2, and Josh Allen had 1. If Josh Allen didn't win DPOY again, I would be surprised who did, because that would be insane. But we're not worried about awards right now. We automatically go to the division round of the playoffs being 14-3, winning the first round bye of the AFC. And now we are going to be facing the Las Vegas Raiders, who we traded for their 2nd round pick. They do have Josh Jacobs on the team. I'm not 100% sure. They still have Devontae Adams or Derek Carr at this point. But we're only worried about winning the game. We're not worried about the roster. 14-3 against 9-8. We should be able to come out with the win. But you never know. They do have Devontae Adams and Max Crosby still. So we have to be able to come out with the W. A very snowy day today in New England, Massachusetts. And the Raiders are already starting off hot, even though it is snowing. And they're going downfield and getting nothing. They end up settling for the field goal, and they were at goal line range. Our defense showed up. Now our offense has to do the same as they do. A 25-yard reception by Joe Mixon gets us the first down. 2nd and 13, 3rd and 13, and we get another big reception by Tyquan Thornton. We are in field goal range. It would be great to get a touchdown right now, and it seems like that is the goal for the offense right now. 3rd and 8, 1st and goal. They're at the 9. They are very close. 2nd and goal. We're looking to get a touchdown, and we do get it. It is 7-3. Jacoby Myers gets a touchdown. We need to be able to stop him on defense as we get 2 sacks back-to-back. 3rd and 27 as they almost get a first, but not enough, and they have to punt it right back to us. We are looking to get a big lead right now, but they sack us and make us get a 3-and-out right now. We punt it back to them. They're running the ball. They get a big reception by Darren Waller. They're getting to the goal line, and they end up getting a touchdown with Darren Waller as well. And we're trying to do the same. A big rush by Joe Mixon as he gets a 62-yard touchdown. Wow, 14-10 New England Patriots right now, and they're getting some big passing plays. And we're trying to stop them as best as we can. 3rd and 9, 4th and 9, and they have to take the field goal. We still have a 1-point lead. We can get a touchdown to really do it right now as we get sacked by Zach Allen and end up not doing anything on that play, punting it away to the Raiders, and we're trying to stop them too. They get a penalty, and they get a big reception right before the half, and they're looking to get a touchdown right now. As they do end up getting it, they almost did not. We need to be able to get something before the half. 2nd and 10, 1st and 10. We're getting into field goal range. 3rd and 3. We get a big reception by Tyquan Thornton. 10 seconds left on the clock, and we end up just settling for the field goal. Questionable decision making there, but they end up running out the clock regardless. We do get the ball at half, so that is most likely why, but we do convert on 3rd down. 3rd and 3. 1st and 10 with another Hunter Henry catch. We're looking to keep getting these big plays right now. We need a touchdown as we get sacked by Grover Stewart and have to settle for a field goal. Tie game 20-20. And they get a big rush by Josh Jacobs too. A 5-yard penalty against the offense for the field goal, and they still end up making it regardless. 3rd and 13. We are not able to do anything right now, but we do end up converting. We're trying to go downfield as best as possible. 1st and 10, 2nd and 4, 3rd and 4. 1st and 10, we're in field goal range. We got to do something in order to get a touchdown to tie up the game, and we're looking to do so. We're at 4th and goal, though, and it looks like we might just settle for the field goal. Oh, we go for the touchdown, and we do get it and tie up the game with Hunter Henry getting the touchdown. They get a big reception off the first play, though. I don't know what's going on with the defense right now. They just let another touchdown go. And our offense is trying to come back into the game right now as best as they can as we get another penalty by Max Crosby, a 15-yard penalty. We're getting into goal line range, and we do get a touchdown. Our defense has to show up right now, and they are not doing so. We simply cannot stop the Raiders right now, and they end up getting a touchdown. That's insane. That is insane. Oh, a big reception by Jacoby Myers. We're getting another big reception. 2nd and 10. Pass is thrown away. Trent Brown is injured on the play. Quentin Johnson gets us to the 10-yard line. We get to the 1, and we get the touchdown. Do we go for the 2-point conversion? We don't. We just want to tie the game. 20 seconds left on the clock. All our defense has to do is just keep them away from field goal range. 14 seconds. They get a big play by Devontae Adams. 9 seconds left on the clock. Pass is knocked away by Kyle Duggar. 4 seconds left. 3rd and 10. And we're going into overtime. The Raiders start off with the ball, though. They could win the game, but we stop them. We stop them on 4th and 12. They try to... Oh, they don't try to go for the field goal. They punt it away back to us. We need to convert on 3rd down. 1st and 10. Ooh. Negative 3-yard rush by Joe Mixon as Tyquan Thornton gets a 21-yard reception. We're getting into field goal range right now. That is all we need. We have to keep that in mind. All we need is we get a penalty by the defensive tackle. 1st and 10, but now we got sacked by Zach Allen, and we're at the 28. But we almost convert. We almost convert. We're at 1st and goal. We just might get the touchdown to really seal the game right now as we get a negative 3-yard rush. 3rd and goal, pass is thrown away. 4th and goal, we can just take the field goal and win this game right now. And that's what we end up doing. 44-41 in the divisional round against the Las Vegas Raiders. They were a viable opponent, but they didn't do enough to win against the New England Patriots, the top of the AFC. All right, and now we have to face Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. 12-5. It's going to be a difficult matchup. We just faced the Raiders, who gave us a run for our money after a week break that we had. But I think we can beat the Chiefs right now. I still don't think that they have any wide receivers. I mean, they still have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. So anytime he's playing, it's a threat. We'll have to see if we're able to win the AFC Conference Championship to be able to move on to the Super Bowl and possibly win it all. And the Kansas City Chiefs do start off with the ball, and our defense just has to be able to show up as they do on the first drive and stop them and make them punt it away back to us as we get a big play by Hunter Henry on the first one, but we get sacked by Chris Jones. 3rd and 5, we get another big play by Tyquan Thornton. We're trying to get downfield to get a touchdown, but we have to settle for a field goal, and we missed a field goal. Wow, and the Chiefs are going to go downfield and get a field goal as well. 3-0. Thought they were about to get a touchdown. I will not lie to you, but we get a big reception by Quentin Thornton. I'm just going to keep going. 1st and 10, a 3-yard rush by Mac Jones. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 12, 4th and 12, and we have to go for the field goal and tie up the game. It is very snowy in New England right now as we're able to stop them 3 and out on that one, but we get stuck at the 5. But we get a big play by Jacoby Myers to get us out of that sticky situation. 3rd and 10, 1st and 10, 2nd and 12, 3rd and 6. And we have to punt it away because they end up sacking us. Well, we put them at the 5 as well, but they end up getting a first down regardless. 2nd and 12, 3rd and 12, 4th and 12, and we're able to get it at the 45. We're almost in field goal range already, and now we are with Quentin Thornton. Is it? I'm just... 4th and 7, and we're going to take the field goal on this play, 6-3. It is a very low-scoring game. It is very snowy, so we're not able to do much. But we get a big touchdown by Jacoby Myers, an 84-yarder on that one, and take a big lead, a 10-point lead at that, 13-3, and we stop them once again. They do not know how to play at Gillette in a snowy weather, but 4th and 1 seems like we don't either, and they're getting a touchdown right when I say that. 13-10, and it's a 3-point lead for us. 3rd and 10, and we're not able to convert again. They're looking to possibly get some more points. They almost get into field goal range, but don't end up kicking the field goal. We start off with the ball. We get sacked 3rd and 9, and we end up getting another big play by Tyquan Thornton, actually saying the right name this time. 1st and 10 because Trent Brown wanted to have a penalty. 2nd and 13. 1st and 10 with Joe Mixon getting a 17-yard reception. 1st and 10 once again. We're getting almost to the goal line, and we do end up getting the touchdown, 20-10. Kansas City Chiefs are trying to answer back in some way, and it seems like they are planning to, with us only having a 3-point lead now, but we're rushing the ball as we please at the moment. 2nd and 10, 1st and 10. Trent Brown again getting a touchdown, and he gets injured on the play. Doesn't matter much because Tyquan Thornton gets a 25-yard reception, but we get sacked by George Karlaftis. 3rd and 6, 4th and 4, and we have to settle for a field goal. We take a 6-point lead and end up stopping them. We could run out the clock right now as much as possible. 3rd and 8, and they get an interception by Antonio Johnson, who I mentioned in the first draft. And they are so close to getting a touchdown, and they end up getting it and taking the 1-point lead. We have to be able to answer back in some way with that pick. It doesn't help. 3rd and 6, and we end up converting on 3rd down. We have to keep going downfield in order to make it our game right now. 3rd and 5, they end up converting on 3rd down once again. 2nd and 10, 3rd and 4. We're at the goal line right now. And a negative 2-yard rush by Pierre Strong Jr., and we end up getting the touchdown regardless. We take a 7-point lead because of a 2-point conversion that we got with J.D. Dukes taking it in. And now we just have to stop him from getting a touchdown. 3rd and 10, 4th and 10. They have to go for it, and they turn it over. And we end up winning the AFC Conference Championship in very snowy weather against the legendary Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Woo! That was a tight game. AFC Championship. The Patriots move on to the Super Bowl and try to get their chance at getting that Lombardi trophy. All right, and in the Super Bowl, we are facing the Carolina Panthers, who are 9-8. Not the first team that we face that is 9-8 right now. They have Brian Burns on their team still. Could be a formidable opponent, but I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs was our biggest opponent in this right now. So, I don't know. I don't want to underestimate them too much, but 9-8 Carolina Panthers, we'll just have to see. And the Carolina Panthers start off with the ball and immediately get a big reception, but they throw the interception as well. 3rd and 7, and we get to 1st and goal with Tyquan Thornton getting a 28-yard reception. A 1-yard rush for a TD for Joe Mixon, and we get the first touchdown of the day in the Super Bowl. We just have to have that same defensive paralysis for the rest of the game as we get a 10-yard penalty on the right tackle and end up stopping them for the rest of the drive, and they missed a 49-yard field goal, and that gives us prime field goal position to keep going downfield and just settle for a field goal. 10-0. We need a bigger lead than that. It is a Super Bowl right now, but we sack them on 3rd down with DeMarcus Lawrence, and they end up punting it away back to us. We need another touchdown right now to really open this game up. 4th and 3. And we end up converting with the 3-yard rush by Joe Mixon. We're getting downfield. 3rd and 5. We get another conversion on 3rd down. 2nd and 10. 3rd and 10. Not this time. We get sacked by Brian Burns and have to settle for another field goal. Almost a 2-touchdown lead as they end up punting it again back to us as we get sacked again and have to punt it to them as well. It is a sack fest right now. 24 yards by Jordan Addison, the young player. 3rd and 10, 1st and 10 as DJ Moore gets 20 yards, and they end up getting their first touchdown of the day with DJ Moore getting into the end zone. 13-7. and we just run out the clock because we are getting the ball at half and end up converting on third down and get a big reception right after with Quentin Johnson getting 20 yards on that play. 3rd and 6, 1st and 10. We're getting to the goal line as best as we can. 2nd and 2, and we miss. Oh, we didn't get the 2-point conversion. Mac Jones tried to rush it in. 19-7. We could have just taken a 13-point lead, but it's just fine. But the Carolina Panthers are able to go downfield and get another touchdown and are only down by 5 now. We have to be able to go down there and get something. 3rd and 13, and we get sacked on 3rd down and have to punt it away, and we put him at the 7. But we sack him for 7 yards, almost a safety, and we get the safety. And we make it a 7-point lead for us, and we get the ball back regardless because of the safety punt and end up converting on 3rd down to Hunter Henry. Wow, it is the Super Bowl right now, and we're getting to the goal line and get another touchdown. It is 28-14 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quarter. And Daniel Jones gets sacked by Josh Allen again. 3rd and 15, 4th and 21, and he gets sacked again by Josh Allen. And they don't end up converting. We are right there, but we're just trying to run out the clock right now as we end up getting a negative 3-yard rush and end up just taking the field goal. I was a bit confused because it was getting into the 2-minute warning, and they get a 25-yard reception by DJ Moore, but then proceed to get a penalty and a sack, and they end up not converting again, and that's seems to be all but over, and your New England Patriots are going to go on to win the Super Bowl. Mac Jones is the quarterback of the future for you guys. Oof. He just has to develop. He just has to develop. They have to get him the right options for him to be able to throw that ball correctly. Daniel Jones on the Carolina Panthers is an interesting outcome. I could see it happening. They would be willing to pay him possibly what the New York Giants aren't willing to pay him. But man, the New England Patriots win the Super Bowl. And I'm assuming maybe Josh Allen is a Super Bowl MVP. I don't even think Mac Jones will probably be it. Josh Allen had a bunch of sacks in this game. And at the end of 2025, the Patriots beat the Panthers, and Josh Allen does win Super Bowl MVP. But Champagne Chico wins Coach of the Year because we went 14-3. We beat the MVP of the league as well. Just an overall good team. I think we made the right moves. I think it's realistic moves, in all honesty, for the Patriots right now. Quentin Johnson could be a great young player for them of the future. Hunter Henry could stay solid. He definitely could stay solid. The defense is just overall basically the same. They got Antoine Winfield and Josh Allen, and that was really about it. Drafted a cornerback at one point. But overall, I think it's pretty realistic. Maybe not Joe Mixon. Maybe another halfback like Najee or something like that to put the Alabama boys back together. But if you did enjoy that, please like and subscribe. If you want me to do any sort of rebuilds, like 20-year rebuilds, a challenge of a rebuild, just let me know down in the comments below, or just whatever team you want me to do. I think the next one is supposed to be the Dolphins, but it's up to y'all. Just let me know. Again, if you did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.